Welcome to Mythos AI, your source for Cliff's Notes on complex subjects. Join Anna and Phil for yet another engaging conversation.
I forget this weird feeling like the internet, for all its reach, has kind of got this American accent, you know?
Yeah.
And you're not alone. You specifically asked us to dive into this, so that's what we're doing. Is everything online? Is it basically just America in disguise? Let's find out.
Well, it's a great question. And yeah, on the surface, it definitely seems like American culture is like everywhere you look online. But to really get why, we need to like rewind a bit, even before we had the internet.
Really, how far back are we talking here? Like dial-up days?
Even further, think like old Hollywood, classic movies, Casablanca, for instance.
Okay.
Set in Morocco, feels exotic, but like deep down, super American story, good versus evil, romance, the whole Hollywood thing.
Okay, yeah, I see where you're going with this, but it's just one movie, right?
It's an example, right? American culture, through stuff like movies, music, it was already going global way before the internet. Subtly exporting, American values, American ways of seeing things. Think about the impact of jazz or rock and roll. Later on, hip hop. These weren't just genres. They were like synonymous with America itself, influencing how the whole world saw American life.
Wow, you're right. That's a really good point. So the internet wasn't starting from scratch. It was building on this foundation that was already, well, pretty American.
Exactly. And as the internet blew up, something interesting happened. For all the talk of a connected world, the companies that took over dominated online. You guessed it, mostly American companies. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. These platforms became the new public squares, shaping how we connect with each other online.
Yeah, you're right. I hadn't even thought about that. But how does that actually change what we see and do online just because these are American companies?
Well, it's more than just like where a company's headquarters is, right? It's the people building this stuff.
Yeah.
The developers, the designers, the ones making the algorithms, their values, even if they don't realize it, they get baked into how these platforms work.
Algorithms, right? Everyone's always talking about algorithms, but like, what are they actually doing? It feels kind of random to me, what I see online.
Oh, it's anything but random. Algorithms are always deciding what you see in like milliseconds based on tons of data.
Okay.
Your past behavior, what you liked, shared, even what time it is, it all factors in.
Okay, so it's personalized. But how does that make the internet American?
Okay, imagine you're scrolling, see a picture, some model, right? The algorithm, based on the data it's got, might show you images that fit a certain look. And that look, often, it's coming from American media, that Western standard of beauty.
Interesting.
And that, without you even noticing, it can shape what you think is attractive.
Yeah, it's like those beauty filters. They're going for a certain look.
Exactly. And that look, often it's reflecting the biases in the data the algorithm learned from. It's not always on purpose, but it shows how tech, even when it's supposed to be neutral, can still push certain cultural preferences.
Huh. That's kind of creepy when you think about it. But it's not just like looks, right? It's got to affect the information we get, too.
Absolutely. Think about news feeds, search results. You start researching something political, right? Algorithms trying to keep you on the hook. They'll show you articles that already line up with what you already believe, even if there are other sides out there. It creates those echo chambers everyone's talking about.
Yeah.
Our own biases just mirrored back at us. Less exposure to different opinions.
So we're stuck in our own little worlds, missing the bigger picture. This is feeling less like connected and more like a hall of mirrors or something.
That's a great way to put it. But the good news is, once we know W about these subtle influences, we're not powerless, right?
Okay, so what can we do about it? It feels kind of overwhelming. Where do you even start? So how do we actually break out of these echo chambers? Kind of feels like the algorithms themselves have to change, right?
Yeah. It's easy to think that, but honestly, the best thing we've got is awareness. And then doing something about it.
Okay.
Remember how we were saying algorithms, they use what you've done before to guess what you want to see next?
Right.
Well, we can use that too.
Wait, so you're saying we can, like, retrain the algorithm ourselves? How'd that work?
Exactly. Each click, like share, it's like you're telling the algorithm, more of this, please. So if you're tired of seeing the same old stuff, you got to go find those different voices, different views. Click on them.
Got it. So more international news, different cultures, like diversifying what I'm looking at online.
There you go. And don't be afraid to like click on something you wouldn't normally. Those suggested articles, creators from different backgrounds, even if it's not your usual thing.
It's like the algorithm saying, hey, check this out. You never know. Maybe I'll find my new favorite thing. But does it really do anything? Just me clicking around?
It seems small,
Hmm.
but it adds up. All those little actions. Think of it like this. Every time you click something that makes you think differently, see a new perspective, you're not just changing what you see.
Mm.
You're making the whole online world a little more diverse, more interesting for everyone.
So it's not enough to just, like, read stuff online. We gotta be out there actually shaping things. It's on all of us, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And it's not just online either. Talking to real people, especially people who are different from us, different backgrounds, different opinions.
Right, right.
Those conversations, they can be tough sometimes, but that's how we really grow, how we understand each other better.
It's like that idea we were talking about before, the internet being like a tapestry, right? It's not about getting rid of American influence. It's about adding all these other threads from everywhere, making it more, I don't know, more complete.
Perfectly said. The internet, it could be this amazing place to share cultures, learn from each other. It's really up to us to make it happen.
This has been seriously so interesting. So, to recap for everyone listening, yeah, the internet maybe has a bit of an American accent, but it doesn't have to be a one-way street. We can be more aware of what we're clicking on, go find those different voices out there, and we all have a part to play in building an internet that represents everyone.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
That's a wrap on this deep dive. Huge thanks to you for talking with us and to all our listeners for the great question. Until next time, keep exploring and stay curious.
Thanks for listening to Mythos AI. Stay tuned for more concise insights. And remember to hit the like button and subscribe for future episodes.